So students, let us continue with the modifications of adventitious roots. And in the last lecture, we discussed the types of root system, modifications of taproot system, and we are finished with the modification of adventitious root system for food storage. So today we are going to start with what, mechanical support. Okay, for mechanical support, the first type of root we are going to do is, what are the roots called? Prop roots. Look at the plant shown in the PPT. Can I say that this plant has a very huge canopy? Canopy समजलं? म्हणजे the branches are widespread. So I said that this plant is having a very huge what? Canopy. As it is having a very huge canopy, you need to give support to the side branches, or else they'll come down. So you find that from the branches of the trees, there are certain roots which are arising and they are growing vertically downwards. How are they growing, Muchilo? Vertically downwards. And they are penetrating into the soil. So don't you think they look like pillars?
Yes.
Or columns which are supporting the branches?
Yes.
That is why these roots are called as prop roots. Roots like pillars, root like columns which help to support the canopy. They give mechanical support to the heavy branches. Another important thing is, these roots can increase in their diameter. So we say that they also show secondary growth. So many a times, if you see a very huge banyan tree, you will not be able to make out which is the stem and which is the root. Got my point? Because even these roots grow wide in their diameter. The largest banyan tree, Ficus bengalensis, is found in Kolkata. It looks like a forest only, Vichalo. So original trunk, where it is, nobody knows. Maybe it must have decomposed also. Got my point? So these roots for mechanical supports come under the heading of what, Vichalo? Prop roots. So how will we say prop roots give support to whom? To the heavy branches in plants having a huge what, canopy. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
And where do the roots arise from? These roots arise from the branches and they grow vertically downwards. And how do they look like? They look like pillars. That is why they are called as what? Prop roots. Did my class follow this? Okay, everybody? And what will be the example of this plant, Uchilo? Yes, I have already given you the example. The example is Ficus bengalensis. One important feature is these roots also show what, Uchilo? Secondary growth. That is, they show an increase in their girth, in their diameter. Clearly, everybody? Yes. Now look at this plant here. Once again for mechanical support. And tell me, this stem that you see, okay, is it a strong stem or a weak stem?
Weak stem.
Weak stem. So many a time the weak stem requires certain extra support. So from the weak stem arises roots which coil over the extra support, which coil over the support, and they give mechanical support to the weak stem. Okay, so like say for example, this is the mechanical support, and this over here is the weak stem with its leaves. So the stem, okay, what it will show the presence of? Specialized roots which are highly sensitive. What do you mean by sensitive, sir? They are sensitive to a particular stimulus. Like for example, here they are sensitive to the touch stimulus. Like your ears are sensitive to the sound stimulus. Your eyes are sensitive to the light stimulus. These roots are sensitive to touch. Thigmo. Touch is thigmo. Okay? They are sensitive to which stimulus, Bachalo? Touch stimulus. So as soon as they touch a support, they will coil over it. Such roots which are sensitive and they coil around a support. These roots will help the weak stem to climb over a support. That is why what shall I call these roots, Bachalo? I'll call these roots as climbing roots. So second type of modification for mechanical support is climbing roots. Okay? What Bachalo, everybody? And the example is PQ that I have already given you. That is pothos, which is money plant, mentioned over there. Then it is Piper nigrum, that is Kali Mirch, and it is Piper beetle, that is Pan. Hello, Akshat Sarvanna?
Yes.
Bachalo, did you understand the climbing root?
Yes.
So climbing roots give support to a strong stem or a weak stem.
Weak stem.
And how are these climbing roots? They are sensitive to touch. They are wiry, wire sarke asतात. म्हणून they coil over a support and give extra support. Okay? Then a little modification in this is a type which is called as which roots, Bachalo? Clinging roots. Okay? And in the case of clinging roots, you're same, like climbing only, but they show the presence of a lot of adhesive discs. They show a lot of what, Bachalo? Adhesive discs. Adhesive म्हणजे चिपकणारे. Okay? Sticky. So they'll give support with the help of their adhesive discs. Did my class follow, everybody? Very good. Let's move on to the next modification. Now, in this particular modification, which is called as the stilt roots. Let us talk about the stilt roots now. Okay? Now, in certain trees, or plants rather, certain plants like sugarcane, jawar, bajra, the main stem, this is the main stem I'm drawing over here. Can you see that main stem?
Yes.
This main stem is having a fibrous root system. Which root system? Fibrous root system. Like in the case of a sugarcane tree plant. Now here, as the stem goes vertically upwards, it gains a lot of weight. Hello, लक्षात काय बोललो मी? जवार झालं काय, बाजरा झालं काय, शुगरकेन झालं काय. जशी स्टेम मोठी होणार, राईस बाजरावरती ग्रेन्स येणार, तर तो जो मेन स्टेम आहे त्याच्यावरती भार वाढणार. बरोबर आहे ना? मग पॉसिबिलिटी काय की खालतून असं पडू शकतं ना, ते तुटू शकतं. So the fibrous root system will not be enough. So from the lower nodes, did I say the base of the stem or the lower nodes?
Lower nodes.
From the lower nodes arise special roots which give extra support. And these roots are in whorls. म्हणजे ही स्टेम आहे, हा खालचा लोअर नोड आहे. So some roots will be north, south, east, west. Like we hold a tent, तंबू जो असतो त्याला आपण चारी बाजूने बांधतो ना, तसंच from all the four sides these roots will hold the stem. And these roots are arising from lower nodes. And such roots are called stilt roots, which arise in whorls. Whorls म्हणजे गोल असं. आलं लक्षात सर्वांना? So look at these roots, Bachalo. Look at these roots. Do you see the white ones? Are they only from one side or are they in whorls?
Whorls.
Are they arising from the base of the stem or from the lower node?
Lower nodes.
Lower nodes. Such roots are called stilt roots. And these stilt roots are in whorls. Where do they arise from, Bachalo? They arise from the lower nodes. And what do they give, Bachalo? They give extra support. And they're growing in all directions. But look at this particular plant, Bachalo. Okay? In this case, the stem is an oblique stem.
Yes.
How is the stem, bachalo?
Oblique.
So many of the whorls, and there is a possibility it can fall this side.
Yes.
So we want somebody to hold the stem from one side. Alaksha? That is why you'll see that these roots, the blue lines, are they going in all direction or only on one side?
One side.
बघा ना इकडे हा oblique stem आहे. ह्या साइडला कोणतं रूट नाही आहे. All of them are only on one side. आलं लक्षात? So these are also stilt roots, but are they in whorls or only from one side? Only from one side. An example of that stilt root is this plant that I've shown here, which is known as pandanus, or Hindi it is called as kevra. So here it was in whorls, and here it was only from one side because the plant is having a dash type of stem, oblique stem. Examples, so you have already learned them. Hello, chalo? Okay. One thing about pandanus I had told you in the last lecture. In the case of pandanus, it has multiple root caps. सांगितलं तुम्हाला? Last lecture मध्ये pandanus is also an example of having multiple root caps. Okay? In English, pandanus is called screw pine. In Hindi, pandanus is called kevda. Okay? In English, what do you call it? Screw pine. Hindi it is called kevda. आलं लक्षात सर्वांना? Now, what are the next modification for mechanical support, bachalo? Buoyant, and there was one more type called buttresses. Right, bachalo?
Yes.
What do you call them? Buttresses. These are also called plank roots. Plank roots. क्या होगा इसको? Plank roots. आप लोग में से किसी ने एक्सरसाइज करते हो प्लैंक्स किया है कभी? कैसे करते हैं प्लैंक्स? खड़े रह के करते हैं?
नहीं.
फिर prostrate और ऐसा सपोर्ट होता है. So you look like a plank. Okay. So in the case of a people tree, this is its normal root system. Okay. But now there are many roots which grow out like this, and they appear like what, bachalo? Planks. What is roots appear like, bachalo? They appear like planks. Okay. So what we'll call these roots, guys? What we'll call these roots? We'll call them as buttresses. Or buttresses are also known as which roots? Plank roots. What are buttresses also called? Plank roots. Example of that would be people. And in aquatic plants, we have a type of root which is called as a buoyant root. What do you mean by buoyancy? The ability to float. So these roots will show tissue called aerenchyma, and aerenchyma has air spaces, so it will help it to give what? Buoyancy. क्या देगा? Buoyancy. Is my class following everybody? Yes or no? So mechanical supports में क्या क्या दिया था मैंने? Prop roots. समझ में आया? Like pillars वाला. Then we had what? Climbing roots. Then clinging roots. Then stilt roots, buttresses and buoyant roots. पक्का all of you? Any question, guys?
सर वो मनी प्लांट में जो रूट होता है उसे न्यूट्रिशन की जरूरत होगी तो वो किधर से लेगा?
वो यूजुअली क्रेवाइसिस ऑफ द रॉक्स या क्रेवाइसिस ऑफ द सरफेसेस, वहां पे जाके वो क्या करता है? अपने आप को होल्ड करता है. अब उसको न्यूट्रिशन कौन देगा? उसका लीफ सिस्टम देगा, उसका स्टेम सिस्टम देगा उसको न्यूट्रिशन.
वो पैरासिटिक नहीं है?
नहीं, पैरासाइटिक नहीं. ओके. पैरासाइटिक रूट्स एक अलग टाइप के होते हैं जिसको भी अपन डिस्कस करने वाले हैं. Okay, but before that, let us discuss a type of root which is called as epiphytic roots. Okay, now, but I hope my class is clear up to here, everybody. Lucky, all of you. Now, so now we are talking about modifications of the root in order to perform special functions, and in that, what is the type I have mentioned? Epiphytic roots. For that, does my class remember what is an epiphyte? Epiphyte. Some algae are epiphytic. Some algae are epizoic. When the alga grows on some other tree, you had called it epiphytic. जसं पावसामध्ये मँगो ट्री वरती पूर्ण ग्रीन ग्रीन शेवाळ लागते की नाही? मग ती शेवाळ जी आहे काय अल्गे आहे ती कशावरती ग्रो होते? मँगो वरती. मग ती शेवाळ काय झाली? एपिफायटिक. तसं जंगलमध्ये एक स्लॉथ बेअर असतं, त्याच्या फर मध्ये त्याचे जे हेअर्स असतात त्याच्यामध्ये अल्गे राहतात. दॅट इज एपिझोई. दोन्ही शब्द लक्षात ठेवायचे. एपी म्हणजे वरती, झोइक म्हणजे अॅनिमल वरती, फायटिक म्हणजे प्लांट वरती. आता हे प्लांट्स कसे आहेत? एपिफायटिक प्लांट्स आहेत. म्हणजे बघा इकडे एक जंगल आहे बच्चा. देयर इज अ जंगल and in the jungle there is this huge tree. खूप मोठी झाड आहे, त्याचा एक छोटासा पार्ट दाखवला. आलं लक्षात? आणि there are some species of orchids which can grow on this huge tree. Look at this. Look at this green color का plant. It is growing on the branches of some other tree. What is the color? Green. So can it do its own photosynthesis? Yes. Matlab it is autotrophic. How is the plant?
Autotrophic.
You should not have a misconception that it is growing on some other tree, so it is taking nutrition. No, it is
Autotrophic.
because it shows which color? Green color. So it will show the presence of chlorophyll. It can produce its own food. Okay? So orchids, vanda, dendrobium, these are all those which are epiphytic plants because they are growing on other plants. Alexa, are they heterotrophic or autotrophic?
Autotrophic.
Because they are dash in color.
They are green
And they
color.
can do their own.
Photosynthesis.
Okay, but now look at the problem. Huh? Their roots hang down. And ये जो roots है, they are hanging in the air. Where are they hanging, Bachelo?
Yeah.
They are hanging in the air. Do you see these long ones?
Yes.
What are they doing, Bachelo? They are hanging in the air. Shall I continue? And they have a special tissue called velamen tissue. काय नाव आहे टिश्यूचं?
Velamen tissue.
Velamen tissue. And this velamen tissue is hygroscopic. कोणाला माहिती लक्ष वर्डचा अर्थ बच्चो? हायग्रोस्कोपिकचा अर्थ माहिती कोणाला इकडे क्लासमध्ये? व्हॉट इज हायड्रोस्कोप? हायग्रो म्हणजे वॉटर. स्कोपिन म्हणजे टू होल्ड वॉटर. जसं नमक है, नमक, मीठ, ओके, सॉल्ट. If you keep it open in your kitchen, what will happen? It will absorb all the moisture from the atmosphere. Thus, this velamen tissue is hygroscopic. And what it will do? Sir, it will start absorption of water from the air. And roots are supposed to absorb water from the
Soil.
This is absorbing water from the
Air.
It's a normal function or a modified function?
Modified.
It's a special type of function. What my point? So such roots are called as epiphytic roots because they are found in which type of plants? Epiphytic plants. And these epiphytic roots are aerial hanging roots with a special tissue called as velamen, which is hygroscopic, which will fulfill the need of water in the case of vanda, dendrobium, and other species of orchids. Mayana,
Yes.
do you see these roots are also greenish in color?
Yes.
So can they do photosynthesis? Yes. They are assimilatory roots, which are also seen in certain plants like Tinospora trapa. Main assimilatory roots, the main types are seen in plants called Tinospora and trapa. But as it's not there in the NCERT, I don't want you to learn it. Have you got it, everybody?
Yes.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, let's go ahead. Look, this is the xylem and phloem. And look at the velamen. It is outside the xylem and phloem. So it will absorb the water and will provide it to the xylem. Did my class follow? So what are these special roots called? Epiphytic roots. Shall I continue now? Now, the second type of modification in the special functions is what, Bachalo? Hostoria, or the sucking roots are called as hostoria. Huh? Look here, guys. This is a mango tree ka stem. Who is this? Mango tree ka stem. The one which I am showing in black. And on the mango tree ka stem, there is a brown colored wiry plant which is leafless that is growing on it. How is the plant? Leafless. What is the color?
Brown.
Brown color. So will it be able to do photosynthesis?
No.
Sir. Does it have leaves? No sir. So it is leafless. And the name of this plant is called as Cuscuta. Okay? And in English it is called dodder. And we call it what? Amarvale. क्या बोलते उसको? Amarvale. कोणा बोलतो आपण Amarvale? Cuscuta. हाँ? आता बघा जरा. We'll look at this under a microscope now. So the black color is for whom बच्चे लोग?
Mango tree.
Mango tree. Huh? So I've cut the stem. I'm looking at it under the microscope. And in the center, I see the presence of a tissue, which is called X, that is xylem, and another tissue, that is called as phloem. Alaksha? And look at this. This blue color is for whom? Cuscuta. Now look at this. This particular plant is producing specialized roots which are penetrating the stem of the mango tree, and then it is reaching both xylem as well as the phloem. So such penetrating roots, how are the roots? They are penetrating roots, are also known as the sucking roots, or the what bachalo? Hostoria of bachalo what? Cuscuta. Now my question is, does it reach only xylem, only phloem, or both?
Both.
That is why Cuscuta is a total parasite. Cuscuta is a total parasite because it reaches both xylem as well as the phloem. What my point? But in the case of an example that I have given you, Viscum album, है ना example दिया मैंने? कौन सा example है? Viscum album. In the case of Viscum album, the first example was Cuscuta. The second example of Viscum album. In the case of Viscum album, I have mentioned it as under which parasite? Partial parasite. Because the Hostoria reach only the xylem. But the Viscum album has got green leaves which can produce its own food. But for water requirement, it produces Hostoria that will penetrate the xylem and take in water. I hope you got it. Alvacha? Okay, so such penetrating roots are called sucking roots. They are also called as what? Hostoria. Viscum album is an example of which parasite? Partial parasite. The order or Cuscuta is an example of total parasite. This is Amarvale, VEL or WEL, whatever. Okay? Alvacha, Sarvana? All of you? So this was all about which modifications? All root modifications. Okay? How did we start last time? Root system modified into adventitious roots and taproot. Taproot system modified for food storage. It helps to overcome unfavorable conditions, which is called perenniation. Primary root मध्ये food store होतं. आता सांगा कोणतं root आहे? Swollen in the middle, tapering towards the end and the apex. Example, look at. Raphanus. Active recall. Come on, boys. It is swollen at the base, suddenly tapers. Example. Swollen at the base, gradually tapers. Irregular in shape. Example of tuberous. I am a plant. I grow in swampy areas. I don't have oxygen to breathe. Who am I? I am a halophyte. Give me example of halophyte. Mangrove, Rhizopora, Avicennia, solitary. Common Hindi name. Common English name. Mangroves. I have got pneumatophores, which are dash positively. They look like conical spikes. The openings on them are called lenticels, which help them to breathe. Correct? Then certain roots have rhizobium bacteria, which help in nitrogen fixation. Then adventitious roots for food storage. Irregular shaped tuber, simple tuber. Singly. गुच्छे में कौन था? Fasciculated. Example, asparagus and dahlia. Monoliform, spinach. Nodulose, aam haldi. Mechanical support I started today, which included prop roots like pillars, stilt roots in whorls and from the sides, then climbing root, clinging root, and buoyant root. And for special function, we did epiphytic roots and osteoids. Yes, any questions, Chilo? So stem is which type of system, Chilo? Heterogeneous system. Because the stem is made up of different parts, such as leaf. Hey, wait, don't you think I should write here shoot system?
Yes.
The shoot system is a heterogeneous system with leaf, stem, flowers, fruits, and very importantly, it shows the presence of birds. So if I ask you, what's a bird? What's your answer? What's a bird? Don't look there. Look here and tell me. What's a bird?
It's a small outgrowth.
Okay. Bird, in common English, it will be called growing point. What do you call it? Growing point. बढ़ने की जगह. Okay? And technically I'll call it, it is a young, like me, group. Why are you laughing, Angelo? That was not sarcastic. Young group of dividing cells. Young group of which keep on undergoing cell division. So they are undifferentiated. Such undifferentiated group of cells are called meristematic cells. Clear about it? Depending upon their functions. Depending upon their functions. If the bird helps in the formation of flowers, matlab it will be called as a vegetative bird or a reproductive bird?
Reproductive bird.
Yes, such a bird is called as a floral bird because floral bird helps in what bachalo? Reproduction. So you got a kali, you know kali, gulabachi kali, Kashmir ki kali, all those kalis, okay? So what do you call them? Floral birds. So floral birds help in what bachalo? They help in reproduction. Okay? So vegetative birds help in the formation of leaf, stem, root. Correct. Vegetative plant parts. Now look here, guys. So see here. There also I have shown a plant, but I would like to draw it. Okay. Who is this? Hey, who is this, guys? A plant. Right? Now, look at this bird. This bird is at the apex. It will help the plant to grow in its height. Okay? Some people wish they had this. Okay? And this bird is called apical bird or the terminal bird. Does anybody know which is the largest apical bird in the world? Which is the largest apical bird in the world? She's saying Shravani Pore. She's saying Shravani Pore. It is cabbage. Cabbage, sorry. Patta gobi. So who is the largest apical bird, bachalo? Cabbage. You don't know what is the cabbage now? No. What is the point of attachment of the leaf on the stem called? Node. Look at this upper angle. Do you see this upper angle? Yes. This upper angle is called as an axil. क्या बोलते हैं उसको बच्चों? Axil. Understood what is an axil?
Yes.
Now, when the bird is in the axil, what is the bird called?
Axial bird.
Axillary bird. So when the bird is in the axilla, it is called as an
Axillary bird.
axillary bird. Did my class follow? Okay, everybody. So what's an axillary bird? The one which is there in the axil.
Axil.
If the bird is near the axil, okay, maybe it is at the node, then it is called as an accessory bird, or it's a extra axillary bird. Okay, got it? Other than that, sorry. Other than that, if the bird is on the leaf, or on the stem, or on the root, it is called as an adventitious position. Yeah, let's go.
Adventitious.
You remember the meaning of the word adventitious? Other than standard is called as adventitious. So if it is there on the stem, such a bird is called colline bird. If it is on the root, it is called as a foliar. Foliar मतलब leaf, or epiphyllous, upon the leaf bird. If it is on the root, it is called as which bird bachalo? Radical bird. So can I say that the vegetative birds can be classified as adventitious, and the regular birds bachalo? The regular birds include apical bird, axillary bird, and extra axillary bird. And adventitious bird include colline bird, radical bird, and foliar bird. Analaksha Sarvana? Yes or no? So what's a bird? It's a young group of dividing cells. And what is the job of the bird, Uchilo? It's a growing point. And that is why we call them as what, Uchilo? We call them as meristematic. Analaksha? If the bird helps in the formation of a what? Flower, that is called as a floral bird. If it helps in the formation of a vegetative part, it's called as a vegetative bird. What are the standard positions, Uchilo? What are the standard positions? What are the standard positions? Apical, axillary, and extra axillary. And what are the adventitious birds? They can be colline or they can be radical birds. Okay? Folia. Now we'll talk about the modification of the stem. I'll give you a chart. Okay? So that from tomorrow we can start learning it. Okay? Will you copy this down now, or from the slide you can copy it? Tell me. हाँ अभी कर लेते हैं स्लाइड में देखो फटाफट बताओ मेरे को हाँ नहीं फोटो लेके क्या करेगी उसको म्यूट कर दो थोड़ा हाँ ले ले जल्दी फटाफट एक ही जन ले लो कोई is the basic skeleton, and then we'll put examples outside. Write the chart 3 times now, chalo. By tomorrow. If you want, you can write more also, no problem. Good morning, students. Welcome to another lecture of Morphology of Flowering Plants. We are doing stem part. Yes or no? This is for the camera. And till where have we done last time? About the buds. And what is a bud? It's a young group of dividing cells, which are meristematic. What are the 3 standard positions I had told you? Apical, axillary, extra-axillary. And what were the adventitious positions? Radical, colline, and foliar. On the stem, on the leaf, and on the roots. So, that was about that. Today we will start with the modifications of the stem. And the first type of modification is called as underground modification. Okay. So in this case, normally the stem grows above the soil. Got my point? But for the function of perennation and vegetative propagation, we find that the stem is growing under the ground. For which functions? Vegetative propagation. New words, or you know their meaning already?
No.
Yes, na? So the stem has become underground. For what, Vachilo? It has become underground for perennation and what? Vegetative propagation. Okay. Now, before we proceed to the different modifications, I like to introduce you to the type of branching in a stem. Like this is a stem with its leaves, and at the apex, the blue one is the apical bud, and the red one is the axillary bud. In certain types of stems, the apical bud continues to grow. So the apical bud will continue to grow, as a result of which we find that the growth of the stem is only in one axis, like this. There are no lateral branches. What my point? Because the growth of the stem is occurring from which bud? Apical bud. So the stem will keep on increasing in its height. And you will not find any lateral branches. Do you find any lateral branches in coconut palm, Bachcho? Give me yes or no? No. Who said yes? Coconut tree में side के branches किसको दिखाई देते हैं? So the stem is having multiple axis of growth or only a single axis of growth?
Single axis of growth.
Correct. Such a stem is called as monopodial. What do you call it?
Monopodial.
Understood what's a monopodial stem?
Yes.
So a monopodial stem has many axes or a single axis of growth?
Single axis.
Because the growth is occurring from dash bud. Apical bud. Okay. See the other type, where who is the red bud, Vachilo? Axillary. And who is the black bud? Apical bud. Now in this particular stem, the growth is taking place of the lateral branches. From which bud? Axillary bud. So now this particular stem will have a single axis of growth or many axes?
Many axes.
So have you seen a mango tree? Does it have side branches?
Yes.
So who grew this side branches? Apical bud or axillary bud?
Axillary bud.
So does it have a single axis of growth or multiple axes of growth?
Multiple axes.
So such a stem will be called as sympodial. What do you call it?
Sympodium.
Sympodium. You understood my point? What do you call it?
Sympodium.
Sympodium. Did the class follow? So what are the two types of branchings in a stem? Which stem has many branches on the sides?
Sympodium.
And a single axis is found in monopodium. Okay. The growth of the stem from the side branches occurs from dash bud. Okay. Now, the first underground modification we are going to discuss is what we call rhizome. Okay. Now, if you look on the slide, you must have identified this particular plant part. Yes or no? What do we call it in our local language? Lovely. In English, we call it what? Ginger. Right? But botanically, what is a ginger? It is an underground stem. What is ginger?
Underground stem.
Is ginger a root?
No.
It is an
Stem.
underground stem. So just imagine a ginger in your hand. Is it thin or is it thick?
Thick.
So can I say it is dorsiventrally thickened?
Yes.
The dorsal and the ventral sides are thickened. Sir, why is it thickened? Because it is storing food in it. So once upon a time, it had a shoot system which was present above the soil. The shoot was doing a lot of photosynthesis because the conditions were favorable. Now it stored all the food inside the underground stem, which has become thickened, dorsiventrally thickened. Did you get my point?
Yes.
And this is called as a rhizome. What is it called?
Rhizome.
So what is a rhizome?
Underground stem.
It is a underground, then dorsi-ventrally thickened stem, which is prostate. Even this word is important. What the word it is?
Prostate.
Prostate. What do you mean by prostate? Yes, very good. Horizontally to the ground. Right now I am standing erect. When you sleep, you are prostate. So look at the rhizome. Is it growing erect or is it growing prostate?
Prostate.
Hello, Lakshat Sarvana. Now, chalo, as it will keep on storing food during favorable season. Storing food during the favorable season. The size of the ginger rhizome will keep on increasing. And lateral branches will grow from the axillary bud. Which branches will grow, Bachalo? Lateral branches will grow from the axillary bud. Lateral branches will grow from the axillary bud. And the size will keep on, and the branchings will keep on. So my question to you guys is, this ginger is going to be an example of a sympodial rhizome or a monopodial rhizome? Very good. I hope you got my point?
Yes.
So you just told me that the growth of the rhizome of ginger rhizome occurs by which bud? Which bud? Lateral bud. So it is which type of rhizome, Buchalo? Sympodial rhizome. Have you got it, everybody? Did you get my point? Now, when the conditions will become unfavorable, this entire green part will die. And what will be there under the ground, Buchalo? The rhizome, which will help to overcome unfavorable conditions. Did you get my point?
Yes.
With the return of the favorable conditions, the apical bud, which bud?
Apical.
Will result in the formation of a new shoot system with stem and a leaf. चलो, we allow it to remain alive. हम लोग उसको गाड़ के निकाला नहीं उसको. So as a result of which it lived for one more season, and the size of the ginger kept on, and the lateral branch kept on spreading. With unfavorable condition, what again this will happen? Die. Understand how the growth keeps on taking place? So if you take it out early, the size will be smaller. If you allow it to grow, the size will keep on becoming larger. So in the market you see sometimes the pieces are this big with many lateral branches. Are you able to get the idea, Bachalo?
Yes.
Ayana? So if my question is new shoots above the soil in a SR, that is a sympodial rhizome, occurs by dash bud, fill up the dash with show, apical bud, and lateral branches grow by which bud, Uchilo? Axillary bud. Such a rhizome is called which rhizome? Other example of such sympodial rhizomes are Curcuma domestica and Canna. Who is it? Curcuma domestica and Canna. What my point? And you have written that in your examples. So Zingiber officinale, Curcuma domestica and Canna are examples of dash rhizome, sympodial rhizomes. Whereas Lotus terrace, ये जो examples दिए थे, they are examples of which rhizome? Monopodial rhizome. So for monopodial rhizome, the examples you are supposed to refer your chart. So what will be a monopodial rhizome? The rhizome which will show its growth from which bud? Apical bud will be called as monopodial rhizome. Okay. So Rajvardhan, we got two rhizomes in your hand. One is highly branched, the other is not. Which one is monopodial, which is sympodial? Sympodial. वो क्या है? मोनोपोडियल. मोनोपोडियल का ग्रोथ कौन से वर्ड से होगा? और इसका जो साइड ग्रोथ किस होगा? इसमें नए शूट्स कौन से कहां से आएंगे? अपाइकल. Got it? And you'll see that it shows the presence of, do you see this? Scale leaves. When you get a ginger at home, you must have seen these markings on that.
Yes.
Do you see those markings? What are those markings? Scale leaf. Scaly leaf. Scaly मतलब काय होती है? एक लीफ असते ग्रीन इन कलर. जे काय करतं? फोटोसिंथेसिस. दुसरी जी लीफ असते ती कशी असते बच्चो? ब्राउनिश इन कलर. What is my point? Protective in function. It is called which leaf? Scaly leaf. In an onion, ते वरचं जे असतं ना, आहे ना, that is also a modified leaf only, which is called tunic. T-U-N-I-C. Tunic. It is also scale leaf. It is also which leaf?
Scale leaf.
So did you imagine now?
Yes.
You eat that scale leaf, na?
No.
Not supposed to eat that. I hope you got my point.
Yes.
So the rhizome also shows the presence of. What does it show the presence of, Chilo? I'll write it over here. It shows the presence of a scaly leaf along with adventitious roots. Make it a point to write the full form later on. But did you understand the rhizome, everybody?
Yes.
Pakka?
Yes.
So what do I have in my hand? Ginger. Is it prostrate or erect?
Prostrate.
It is dorsiventrically
Thinner.
because it is storing
Food.
आलं लक्षात सर्वांना?
Yes.
नक्की. Its growth is going to take place from? Its growth is going to take place from? Axillary buds. And new shoots are going to take place from? Apical. Ayana, if you allow the ginger to survive for many seasons, what will happen बच्चों लोग? First year यहाँ से shoot form हुआ था, next year इधर से होगा, third year कहाँ से होगा बताओ? इधर से या आगे से? आगे से. And नीचे size क्या होती रहेगी? बढ़ती रहेगी. What are these things? Adventitious shoots, which are arising from the scaly leaves. Let's बढ़े आगे बच्चों. Next slide. Just click it, right click. That's it. I hope you all followed everybody. So what's the next modification? Are you sleeping, guys? I have written it over there. What's the next modification? Tuber or stem tuber?
Stem tuber.
Tuber or stem tuber?
Stem tuber.
Stem tuber, right? Prasanna, when do you use the word tuber? Irregular in shape. बराबर है? Now this tuber is which tuber बच्चों? Stem tuber. Are you there with me, everybody?
Yes.
Pakka? Guys, look here, everybody. Okay, who is this bachalo? Is it a stem or a root?
Root.
It's a stem. It's a stem. It's an underground stem. वही तो सीखा पड़ा मुझे. It is an underground stem. So do you see this branch of the stem, guys? The one I have highlighted in blue. It's a purana PMT का question. This is called as a axillary branch. What do you call it? Axillary branch of the
Stem.
and from the axillary branch arises one more branch which is called as a extra axillary branch. You're getting my point, Muchilo?
Yes.
And above the soil, this hypothetical diagram, it shows the presence of its leaves. How are the conditions? Favorable. So the leaf is doing a lot of,
Photosynthesis.
so it is producing a lot of
Food.
in the form of starch. It will be stored. And now that food will go and get and stored at the apex of the extra axillary branches. At the apex of the extra axillary branches. तो जितना भी एक्स्ट्रा खाना बनेगा वो कहाँ पे जाके स्टोर हुआ? ये एक्स्ट्रा एक्सिलरी ब्रांच के टिप पे. तो एक्स्ट्रा एक्सिलरी ब्रांच का टिप जो है वो धीरे धीरे क्या हो गया? स्वेल हो गया. और देखो सबका शेप जो है अलग अलग होता है पटाटे का. कोई छोटा, कोई बड़ा, कोई ओवल, कोई राउंड. सो कोई शेप रेगुलर नहीं होता. लेकिन रेडिश वगैरह में थोड़ी ऐसा होता है. सबका वही कोनिकल शेप होता है. सो ये किसके एग्जांपल में आता है बच्चों? ट्यूबर के. कौन सा एग्जांपल है ये? स्टेम. I hope you getting my point. So the question was that the stem tuber is formed at. The stem tuber is formed at. Where is it formed at? At the tip of the extra axillary branches during dash season. Hello, chalo. Ayana. So they are the swollen ends or tips of special swollen underground branches. What are the branches called? Extra axillary branches. So what's a stem tuber? It is a what bacha? Swollen end of extra axillary branches. Due to what bachalo? Due to stored food. Okay, everybody. An example of that is Solanum tuberosum. What's the example?
Solanum tuberosum.
Solanum tuberosum.
Solanum tuberosum.
That is your common potato. There are a few other examples not there like Jerusalem artichoke. ऐसा कुछ है. अपना जो common आपको क्या ध्यान में रखना है? Solanum tuberosum. Okay. Sir, what is the proof that Solanum tuberosum is a stem? Yes. Presence of nodes and internodes. Correct. So if you look at the potato ka stem tuber, it will show the presence of ऐसे notches होते, खड्डे होते कि नहीं? Is the surface smooth or does it have deep notches in it? अलग अक्षर में क्या बोलते थे? Are you looking at a potato right now? Is the surface smooth और छोटे-छोटे खड्डे रहते हैं? These are the notches. Notch मतलब एक depression. And at the notch, you will see the presence of previously asked question. It is a node with a scaly leaf and dash bud. Is it an apical bud or axillary bud? हाँ, scaly leaf के axil में कौन सा bud रहेगा? Axillary bud रहेगा. So what do these notches show the presence of? The notches are लक्षात. What do the notches show the presence of? Say the whole thing. It is scaly leaf plus the axillary bud plus the node. It is called as the eye of potato. Let's go. Eye of potato. You understood what the eye of potato? So what is the eye of potato? What is this eye of potato, bachcho? It shows the presence of नोड कब वर्ड यूज करते हैं? जब वहां पे लीफ का अटैचमेंट होता है. अच्छा, ये लीफ कैसी है? ग्रीन है कि ब्राउन है? ब्राउन है ना. ग्रीन कौन बोल रहा है? ग्रीन पत्ता दिखता है वहां पे, ब्राउन है ना. और वहां पे क्या रहता है? एक्सिलरी बड. डू वन थिंग, कीप अ वेट हैंकरचीफ, कीप अ हैंकरचीफ दैट इज वेट on the potato and leave it for a week, and then you remove that handkerchief. You will see that green shoots start developing at the where? Eyes. Eye na? So will you call it as an eye or a germinating eye now? Germinating. Understood? And from there you get a new potato. Did you get my point? So can I say potato is helping in pollination and propagation? So why did the potato plant produce a potato? So you can eat batata vada?
No.
Chips?
No.
Then why? Pollination and? But human beings over years, thousands and thousands of years ago, understood that it can be used as a source of carbohydrates. And we started using it. Ayana? Then we started frying it. Things like that. Any reason why potato is so famous all over the world, Vichuru? Go in any culture and you'll find potato. You're right, Bol.
Because they tasteless and they can get any flavor.
Yes. You give them a Mexican masala, you give a Sangli masala, you give any masala, they'll take up that masala. What am I point? Because they are tasteless. Because they are made up of a polysaccharide, that is starch, which is tasteless. Hello, sir. That is what made it world famous. What my point? Ayana. Tuck. Ayana. Sometimes your reason for success could be something very different, bachcho. Like, have you seen that YouTuber? What is his name? Cabby Lame, ऐसा कुछ तो नाम है? What's his name? हाँ? Cabby Lame? देखा उसका? He is the #1 TikToker or YouTuber in the world. Any reason for that? He doesn't speak. What my point? He talks with sign language, which can be understood by anybody. Huh? समझ लो ना? See? So these are the reasons. See, tasteless. Anybody can eat it. World famous. You think? Not heard. We'll change the slide. Another favorite, है ना? पूछ लो. No? What is the full form of EAB? You write on your own now. Or you can see the recording. EAB का full form क्या है? Extra axillary branches. Word कौन बोला? देखो अभी इधर ही तुम लोग गड़बड़ करता है. Extra axillary branches. Let's बढ़े आगे बढ़ चलो. Now I am going to talk about what? A bulb. ठीक है? Don't read anything. Just pay attention. Welcome, sir. Welcome. We'll talk later on. Huh? Went for a jog. Okay. Look here, everybody. What are we talking about? A bulb. Okay. What's a bulb? Let us see what's a bulb. Have you all eaten an kanda?
Yes.
Onion?
Yes.
Okay. Which is the part you cut and throw away? The niche wala part? You know what is that? It's a discoid stem. What is it, bacha? A disc-shaped stem. Got my point? And from the base, it will show the presence of many adventitious roots. Are you there with me, everybody?
Yes.
And the stem will show the presence of one apical bud. So who is the blue one? What did I say? One apical bud. And do you see few red ones I am drawing? These are all axillary buds. What are they?
Axillary buds.
And look here, guys. And there are axillary bud ke base pe se. Do you see concentric fleshy leaves? What did I say?
Concentric fleshy leaves.
So if you take a transverse section of the onion, what do you see? A circle of leaves. So what are they, bachalo? They are concentric. Concentric matlab circular. अरे सब लेट आ रहे, क्या बात है? Come first. So how are the leaves, bachalo? Concentric fleshy leaves. I hope you got it. So in the case of an onion, where is the stored food? In the stem or in the leaf?
Leaf.
So कांदे का जो हम लोग पार्ट खाते हैं, वो एक्चुअली कौन सा पार्ट खाते हैं बच्चों? Leaf. Because the food is stored in the leaf. And how is the leaf, bachalo? It's a concentric fleshy leaf. Did you get the point? And these concentric fleshy leaves are surrounded by scaly leaves. What are they surrounded by, bachalo? Scaly leaves. Did you understand my point? What are they surrounded by? Scaly leaves. So can I say the scaly leaves are like a jacket which are covering the entire fleshy leaves? A jacket is called as a tunic. Jacket, tunic, we have heard this word before, bachalo. Tunicates, salpa, acidia, doliolum. बराबर है? Euro cordata. So tunic मतलब क्या? Jacket. So they are covered by a jacket of scaly leaves. That is why it is called as a tunicated simple bulb of onion. So what did I just teach you right now, bachalo? We just learned about a tunicated simple what, bachalo? Bulb of onion. Okay, and what are the features we just saw? It shows the presence of a, how is the stem? Discoid stem. It shows the presence of apical bud and axillary bud, and important is the food is stored in the which part, bachalo? Fleshy leaves, and it is covered by which leaves, bachalo? Scaly leaves. Do you all follow what I am trying to tell you?
Yes.
आया बात समझ में? तो in the case of a potato plant, where is the stored food? Stem. That is not stem. In the case of a ginger, where is the stored food? But in the case of a onion, where is the stored food?
Fleshy leaves.
Fleshy leaves. And how are the fleshy leaves? Concentrically arranged. And they're covered by a jacket of
Scaly leaves.
scaly leaves. Okay? And it is called as a simple bulb. क्या बोलते उसको? Simple bulb. Now, look here further. Now, the next one is we'll discuss about a compound bulb. Compound tunicated bulb of garlic. Which bulb are we discussing? Compound tunicated bulb of garlic. Okay. So here it shows the presence of, once again the same thing. Who is this, Muchalo? A discoidal stem. Who is this? Adventitious roots. I hope you got my point. And this is an axis. Which bears many buds. Which bears many buds. Buds समझते ना? Buds. I've told you buds. And these buds get swollen. These buds get swollen due to storage of food. Have you got my point? And one entire concentric row is covered by scaly leaves. And one bud with stored food is called as a cloud, or it is called as a bulblet. It's called a cloud or a bulblet. Now one more, bachalo. So once again, who is this? Bulblet, 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 bulblet. Another row of what, bachalo? Bulblet. And the entire row will be covered by white color ka scaly leaves. One more now. One more row of what, bachalo? Bulblets. And another row of bulblets. Now, is it a bulblet or a group of bulblets? And the entire group of bulblets is called as a compound bulb. The entire group of bulblets is called as a
Compound bulb.
because I think so you remember I have used this word compound and simple before also. If one part, listen here everybody, I am talking about eyes of cockroach. Which type of eyes do cockroach have?
Compound.
Is it made up of one unit or many units?
Many units.
One unit is called as ommatidia. So many ommatidia come together to form one compound eye. So when do you use the word compound?
Many.
Many units come together to form a one whole part. So this whole part will be called as a one whole part will be called as a bulb, but it is made up of many bulblets. What my point? So garlic is an example of a simple bulb or compound bulb. Did you get my point, everybody? So right now we covered what, Bachalo? We covered a compound bulb of which plant? Garlic. Same. The discoidal stem and adventitious roots. But now I am having a circlet. You understand a circlet? A circular arrangement of buds which store the food and they form what, Bachalo? Bulblets, or they are called clouds. One entire row is covered by white color ka scaly leaves. So many bulblets come together to form one compound bulb. So when I am eating one piece of garlic, I am eating not whole garlic, I am eating one piece of garlic. What am I actually eating? Am I eating a leaf? Am I eating a stem? Or am I eating a bud? I am eating a swollen bud. I hope you got my point. But when I am eating an onion, what am I eating?
Leaves.
Leaves or fleshy leaves?
Fleshy.
But when I am eating a potato, what am I eating?
Stem.
When I am eating a ginger, what am I eating?
Stem.
When I am eating a radish, what am I eating?
Root.
When I am eating a sweet potato, what am I eating?
Roots.
So, in our culinary term, culinary matlab kitchen language, you can call it batate ki bhaji. But in botany, there is no bhaji. There is no vegetable. Batata is a stem tuber. What my point? Garlic is a. No, not giving me the right word. Garlic is a compound bud or tunicated bulb. Whereas onion is a. Why is onion called simple and garlic called compound? Because garlic is made up of many units of bulblet. Food is stored where in the garlic? Buds. And in the case of onion, so which part of onion do we eat? Fleshy leaves or the scaly leaves? Did you get my point? So that one small piece, what do you call it in Marathi? हाँ? लहसुन के एक पीस को क्या बोलते हैं छोटे से? Pakli, whatever you call, that is what you are eating is what? Is it a leaf or is it a bud? It's a swollen bud. It will have a little bit of scaly leaves over it.
Yes.
Am I able to make you understand, Muchilo?
Yes.
Did you all follow?
Yes.
Before I move on to the next one, and that is called as the corm. Okay. So the fourth modification here, corm. Okay. So which part are we talking about? Are we talking about root or the stem? Stem. Which modifications? Underground. What are the first underground modification we studied? Active recall. Everybody fast, loudly. Rhizome. Rhizome is underground. Erect or prostrate? Dorsiventrically. It's stored. Right or wrong? Right? Let us proceed further. Okay. It has got foliage leaves or scaly leaves? With nodes giving adventitious roots. In the case of ginger, it is sympodial or monopodial? The growth will occur by dash bud. And the new shoots will come from the. Give me another example of a sympodial rhizome. Curcuma domestica. That is what is turmeric. Then canna. Simple rhizome is terrace वगैरह जो थी example दिया है. Simple, sorry, monopodial rhizome. Stem tuber. The stem is underground with axillary branch, which gives out axillary branches. That tip gets to form a stem tuber. It has got those khantas. What are they called? Notches. It is called eye of the potato. What does it include? Axillary bud and a no. When it germinates, we call it as a germinating eye of. Then the latest one we spoke about is a bulb. Okay. There are two types of bulbs. One is tunicated, the other is scaly. Scaly we have not spoken about. Only the example I gave you. But bulb, which one was it? Fleshy bulb. We spoke in detail. One was simple tunicated bulb, the other is compound tunicated bulb. Okay. In both of them, what is common? A discoidal stem along with adventitious roots. In the case of onion, the food is stored in a fleshy leaf, covered by scaly leaves. In the case of a garlic, it is buds. And one bulblet is a bud, and the entire row is covered by scaly leaves. Clear? The fourth modification. What do you call it, Buchilo? It is called as corm. Okay. In common languages, it's a vegetable, which is the common example is arbi. Have you eaten या फिर सूरन? खाया इसमें से कुछ आप लोगों ने? अरबी या सूरन ऐसी भाजियां रहती है जो भाजी खाते रहेंगे, उनको पता होगा बच्चों लोग। नहीं खाया सूरन? किसने खाया सूरन? बस इतने लोग ने खाया।
उससे एलर्जिक रिएक्शंस होता है ना।
हाँ?
सूरन खाने से एलर्जिक रिएक्शंस होते हैं।
किसको? आपको?
मुझे नहीं, मतलब कॉमन।
कहाँ सब पड़ती है? पूरी दुनिया सूरन खा रही है। हाँ, किसी को होता होगा, but it's a famous vegetable. People eat it. Do you suffer from allergies? From suran? No, no. Then eat suran, okay? But उसको बदनाम मत कर यार सूरन को यार। सूरन क्या होता है? अरे क्या तुम लोग, क्या मैं कहाँ से वो तुम्हारा वर्ड लेके आऊँ? Have you heard of elephant's foot? एक भाजी रहती है elephant's foot, बड़ा बड़ा। नहीं? तो use your Google for finding out what is suran called in Sangi. सर्च करोगे what is suran called in Sangi. हाँ, और कल मुझे बता what is suran called in Sangi. Yes? What my point? So what is a corm? What's a corm? The easiest way to remember corm is it's a vertically thickened rhizome. What's the best way to remember it? It's a vertically thickened, क्या बोला मैंने? Rhizome. What's a corm बचा? Vertically thickened rhizome. My question to you is, rhizome is vertical or is it horizontal? Rhizome. Is it vertical or horizontal? Horizontal. Is it erect or is it prostrate? Prostrate. But the corm, look at the corm. Is it horizontal or is it vertical? Vertical. So vertically thickened rhizome is called as a corm. It will show the presence of scaly leaves, buds, daughter corms, which will result in the formation of a new corm. So see what I have written over here. Corm is a condensed form of a rhizome growing vertically. Did you get my point? Ayana, okay everybody. Yes, Tanvi, please stand up. Where does the stem tuber grow? Which part does the stem tuber grow? Tip of axillary bud? Wrong answer. It's a tip of bud or branch? Okay. When you eat a garlic, what do you eat of the garlic? A swollen bud. But in the case of an onion, fleshy. Why is it garlic called compound and onion said to be simple?
Garlic is made up of many units.
What are those units called? Branches. Very good. What are the units called? Branches. Bulbets. Or they're called as club. Better. Okay. Clear everybody? How do you define a corm? Yes, Omkar, how do you define a corm? Vertically growing rhizome. Give me two examples. Arbi. That is colocasia. Who's it?
Colocasia.
Zamikant.
Zamikant.
That is amorphophallus. Amorphophallus. Ayana, just let me see. Morphology of flowering plants. You have to help me, huh, bachalo? Root system, taproot system, and examples of underground modified taproots. Give me. Conical. You will give me the example. Conical. Loudly. Fusiform. Nepiform. Tuberous. Mirabilis. With root nodules. And B. Breathing roots are called dash. The openings on them are called as. They grow in conditions called halophytes. Their common Hindi word is. Common English word is. Give me one botanical name. Rhizome. Adventitious roots for food storage. It is occurring singly. Give me the name. Give me the name. Loudly, everybody. The one who will revise will get good marks. Second. In bundles. Give me the examples. Monoliform. Spinach. Indian spinach. Spinaceae organism. Nodulose. Curcuma. Tomato. Right? Next is mechanical support. Annulated is okay. I give you next time. Now, for mechanical support, prop roots. Fingers, bengalensis. The roots are arising from the branches. Stilt root in whorls. Give an example. Only from one side. What is the specialty of the root of pandanus? Multiple root caps. Correct, bachalo? Then climbing roots. Give me 3. PQ. Potash. Bipolar. Next. Clinging. Head Buoyant. Lucia. Special functions. Epiphytic root. Do the roots reach the ground? What is the special tissue they have? Velamen. And the velamen is a hygroscopic tissue. Hygroscopic tissue. Example: orchids. Vanda. Dendrobium. If you don't revise at home, don't come crying to me after 1 month. Huh? I will not entertain. Next. Sucking roots are called dash. Ostoria. Examples: complete and partial. Complete. Cascuta. Partial. Viscum album. My job is only to make you understand. If you don't learn, you will cry after 2 months. Then, we are talking about which roots? Sorry, roots is over. Stem. Underground stem? Yes or no? Horizontally thickened. Sympodial examples? Gingiber officinate. Curcuma domestica. Monopodial में? And what others you have written for monopodial? Nymphia and Nulumbo. Okay, find out the common names. You'll easily find their names. It's homework for you. Find the common name for Nymphia and Nulumbo. Both of them you know. Okay. Then next one is stem tuber. Who is the example of stem tuber? Simple tunicated bulb. Onion. Compound tunicated bulb. Correct, everybody? And the last one was corn. Corn के example में Amorphophallus. Colocasia. Colocasia is Arabic. Amorphophallus is also called Samikari or Surat Samaj. Elephants. Copy it down fast.